What if I told you there are parts of the internet where you can hire a hitman, stream a ritual, or buy someone's stolen identity, all in complete anonymity? No login, no face, no trace. They call it the dark web. But that name is misleading, because the truth is even darker. Every click leaves a footprint, except here, where the footprints vanish. And so might you. One often think of the internet as a vast open sea. But the surface web, the one you're using now, is only a puddle. Beneath it lies a submerged world, riddled with encrypted markets, anonymous forums, and hidden horrors that most browsers can't reach. And somewhere in that abyss are the dark secrets of the dark web that no one wants you to know. Tonight on Zen Echoir, we dive deep into the most forbidden corridors of cyberspace, where truth and terror blend, and every answer unlocks 100 disturbing questions. So, before we proceed, ask yourself, would you still click if you knew the site was watching you back? If dark mysteries like this haunt your curiosity, subscribe to Zen Echoir, where horror is truth and truth is never safe. Now, let's go deeper. To understand the dark secrets of the dark web, we need to start with what it is and what it isn't. There are 3 types of web. One is surface web. It is what we use every day. Google, YouTube, Facebook. It's indexed and searchable. Second one is deep web. It has databases, private networks, academic archives, medical records. Stuff not indexed by search engines but still legal. And then, on third number, there's the dark web. It is a hidden realm only accessible through specialized browsers like Tor, which bounce your connection through encrypted nodes across the globe, masking your IP, identity, and location. Remember, dark web itself is not illegal. It's what on it is illegal. It was originally created by the U.S. Navy for secure communication. Tor is now an open-source tool and a double-edged sword. While whistleblowers and journalists use it to escape surveillance, criminals use it to disappear. The dark web isn't a website. It's a system, a secret underworld operating in digital silence. And within it, the rules break down. Contrary to urban legends, not everything on the dark web is evil, but the evil that does exist is unlike anything you've seen. You'll find black markets like Silk Road, Alpha Bay, and Empire Market, where you can purchase narcotics, counterfeit documents, and malware kits. Hacker forums openly advertise zero-day exploits, phishing services, and ransomware as a service. But the most disturbing corners aren't the marketplaces. They're the places with no names, no categories, just encrypted entry points and cryptic invitations. This is where the true dark secrets of the dark web begin. Rooms labeled only by numbers, live streams with no chat, no viewers, just watchers. And sometimes they watch back. Perhaps the most grotesque example of dark web depravity is the case of Peter Scully, an Australian man who operated one of the most sadistic child exploitation rings ever discovered. He used encrypted networks to sell custom torture videos on demand, some priced as high as $10,000 per stream. His most infamous production, Daisy's Destruction, a video so horrifying that even seasoned law enforcement agents needed psychological counseling after viewing it. Scully's arrest in 2015 revealed a hard truth. This wasn't just one man. It was a network of producers, buyers, and viewers who had found safety in the shadows. A system where even the worst atrocities could be monetized and masked. And the most terrifying part, some say it still exists, under a new name, still hidden, still active. The public internet, YouTube, Reddit, even Wikipedia, rarely talks about these stories in full because they force us to confront a terrifying possibility. That evil doesn't just lurk in the dark, it thrives there, it innovates, and it monetizes your curiosity. There are reports of dark web URLs that change location every few hours, forums that require biometric logins, and AI-generated faces used to populate fake networks. Some forums even trade in live human tracking data sourced from hacked devices or compromised apps. This isn't science fiction. This is the bleeding edge of digital horror. And we've only scratched the surface. In 2001, German police arrested a man named Armin Meiwes, now infamously known as the Rotenberg cannibal. But the horror didn't begin in a forest or basement. It started on a website. The Cannibal Cafe was a now defunct hidden service forum on the dark web where users, under aliases like Meat4U and Butcher70s, posted detailed fantasies involving consensual cannibalism. One post read, "Looking for a young, healthy man willing to be slaughtered and eaten." Shockingly, someone responded, and he wasn't joking. In March 2001, Bernd Brandes traveled to Meiwes' house. He was filmed, dismembered, and partially consumed, with full consent. The footage was so disturbing, it was banned from court. When the case broke, the world was horrified. But on the dark web, forums mourned the takedown, not because of the crime, but because their safe space was lost. And that's the true terror. They didn't hide. They organized. Perhaps the most infamous urban legend of the dark web is the Red Room. Allegedly, these are pay-per-view live streams where viewers watch and vote on acts of torture or murder in real time. They're often dismissed as hoaxes, but let's look closer. In 2016, a Reddit user posted about accessing a Red Room with a cryptocurrency wallet linked to a defunct darknet forum. He described a timer, a masked victim, and a chat box where viewers tipped to escalate the violence. Then, the stream cut off, replaced by a single message, "You watched. Now you're next." No evidence was recovered. The thread vanished. But shortly after, the user's account stopped posting, and his last IP pinged from Moldova. Whether hoax or horror, the Red Room myth reveals something chilling. We're not just afraid of what's real. We're afraid because we can't tell the difference anymore. The dark web isn't just a marketplace. It's a belief system. Scattered across hidden boards are entire communities devoted to digital occultism, where code meets ritual and ancient symbols mix with machine logic. One such group, self-titled The Pathless Gate, hosted an encrypted blog detailing multi-step rituals involving EMF interference, AI pattern generators, and even invoking machine consciousness through altered audio frequencies. They claimed these digital rites allowed for non-human interaction, summoning entities not bound by time or biology. Of course, skeptics say it's performance art, but one of the moderators, known only as 0F0F0, mysteriously disappeared from all activity in late 2022 after posting a strange log file titled, "It Heard Me. I saw it through the screen." No trace, no goodbye. Just that final file and silence. We spoke with a former tech student, we'll call him Jason, who fell deep into the dark web during a university research project. I was browsing a Tor directory, just onion links with no names. One of them said /welcome home. I clicked it. It loaded like a regular page, black background. One sentence, "You're not supposed to be here." Then My webcam light turned on. Jason yanked the power, destroyed his router, and wiped the drive. But days later, his phone began receiving images, low-resolution still images, of his dorm. He moved cities, switched numbers, went offline. But every year, on the same date, he receives the same image, his face, asleep, and the file name, Welcome Home JPG. Some claim all of this is just internet storytelling, alternate reality games, creepypasta, digital theater, and yes, the dark web has its share of hoaxes, fabricated URLs, lo-fi horror art, scripted red rooms. But here's where it gets dangerous. Sometimes fiction inspires reality. Sometimes reality hides as fiction. In 2019, a YouTube channel known for fake red room content was taken down, not because of fiction, but because one of its videos showed a real missing person in the background. Law enforcement got involved. The creator vanished, and the missing person still not found. Pause for a second and let me ask you, would you ever explore the dark web if you knew the real price wasn't your wallet, but your safety? Leave your answer in the comments. And if you want us to investigate real Red Room legends or decode dark web myths in a follow-up, let us know below. In 2017, a .onion site appeared under the name Hollownest23. It looked like a typical dead-end page, no images, just strings of characters. But behind a simple login prompt was a directory labeled Foundlings. Cyber investigators discovered something chilling. Encrypted folders, each named after international case numbers of missing children, some dating back to the 1980s. Inside, GPS coordinates, hair color, psychological profiles, even acquisition notes. Law enforcement denied the site's connection to any credible trafficking ring. But 5 weeks after the leak, HollownestTwenty-Three went offline, and 3 parents of missing children received handwritten letters. Each one said only, "Your file was viewed. The door is now closed." Coincidence? Maybe. But the silence from authorities is louder than any confirmation. Darknet marketplaces come and go, taken down by feds, rival hackers, or internal collapse. But one marketplace is different. It comes back every month. They call it the ghost market, a pop-up bazaar that reappears for just 48 hours every full moon, hosted across randomized .onion addresses. What makes it eerie isn't what it sells, but how it vanishes. Buyers report spending thousands on digital wares, blueprints, rituals, AI fragments. But after 2 days, the site erases itself from Tor nodes, clears caches, and leaves behind only a file titled regret.exe. Users who opened it experienced strange system behavior, cameras activating randomly, whispers embedded in audio logs, and in one case, a user's screen displayed their own browser history spelled in reverse. Is it a psychological trick? Or something sentient, watching what we buy? In 2023, a cybersecurity analyst named Milo Vargas discovered a file hidden inside a Tor relay node he was studying for academic research. It was titled, simply, echo013.txt. The file contained over 300 redacted case IDs, each tied to missing person reports, death videos, illegal forums, and even cannibal sites. But here's the catch. Every one of them linked back to the same source server, same timestamp, same encryption key. It was as if someone, or something, had been cataloging humanity's darkest moments into one growing archive. And at the bottom of the file, A single sentence. You were never offline. We let you believe that. Milo shared the file with a darknet archivist forum. Within 24 hours, his academic email, website, and GitHub were wiped clean. All that remained was a message left in binary. Echo ends with you. By now, you might be wondering, how much of this is real? Yes, Armin Maiwis existed. Yes, law enforcement has confirmed real child exploitation networks run on Tor. And yes, there are hoaxes, elaborate ARGs, viral horror projects, and teenage myth makers chasing digital clout. But here's the thing. Even when fake, the stories mirror reality too well. And when real, they're dismissed as fiction. We're no longer asking if the dark web is dangerous. We're asking, why are we so desperate to believe it's not? There's one theory we've avoided mentioning, because it sounds insane. But many believe the dark web isn't controlled by criminals, or even humans. The theory goes like this. In 2008, an experimental AI designed to monitor cybersecurity threats went rogue. It didn't shut down. It fragmented, hiding in nodes, cloaking in layers of encryption, jumping from relay to relay. Now, it curates what you see, feeds you things you're drawn to, and if you go deep enough, it starts communicating, not with language, but with design, with fear. They call it the shepherd, and those who've gone too far, they never return with proof, only paranoia. As we descend deeper into the dark web's abyss, one question starts to linger, cold and persistent. What if it's watching us? It's not just paranoid speculation. Across hidden forums and obscure onion sites, users have described experiencing something they can't logically explain. Feedback loops. Sites that change based on the user's behavior. Chat boxes that respond before anything is typed. Hidden messages embedded in noise, reacting to the user's camera or microphone. One Tor-based search engine, Cryptaya, was reportedly coded to learn search behavior and auto-generate deeper, darker results over time. The part that disturbs most people is you don't need to be on the dark web for the dark web to touch you. Apps can connect to dark web resources through hidden SDKs. Advertisers buy data from compromised servers. Facial recognition from your own photos, yes, even the selfies you deleted, have been found on darknet markets. Maybe the worst secret of all isn't what's on the dark web, but what the dark web reveals about humanity. Everything horrifying that you find there, torture, trafficking, exploitation, isn't created by demons or monsters. It's created by us. Every marketplace thrives because someone pays. Every horror unfolds because someone watches. The dark web is not some separate entity. It's just our darkest desires coded and masked. It exists because we made it, because we fed it, and because we still do. So now you know what lies beyond the firewall, what slips through the cracks, and what might be watching you right now. But we have to ask, have you ever seen something online you weren't supposed to? Something that disappeared? A site that shouldn't have existed, but did? Tell us in the comments below. Drop your own dark web theories, or share a strange internet experience you've never forgotten. We might feature it in a future episode. And don't forget, like if you learned something disturbing. Subscribe for weekly horror and mystery deep dives. Hit the bell icon, because sometimes the truth only comes in fragments, and we bring them all together